All right, I'll untie you.
Thanks, Henry. I knew you wouldn't leave me here.
Spit it out, quick.
Sure. Hagen's planning to lead a raid on Samapesh himself. He wants to torch the whole village, soon.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's awful. I'd like to stay here and talk about it, but if that's everything, I'd rather be on my way.
Get going before I change my mind.
Thanks, Henry. I owe you one, if we ever meet again. And since you've kept your word, I'll tell you one more thing.
I'm all ears.
It's something Kuno was always talking about when you weren't around to hear. He kept cursing that he was fed up with running around for Radzig, and that it's not the first time he's done his dirty work for no reward. So I mentioned that to Hagen, and he put together a nice pile of coin for Kuno.
What? He's planning to bribe Kuno?
Exactly. And what I know of the chief, he sure likes the jingle of silver.
Fuck.
I keep telling you he's a swine. Well, glad I could help. So, I'd better get going before someone else turns up looking for me. Maybe we'll meet up again sometime, Henry. And I'll pay you back.
No offense, but it's not a meeting I'll be looking forward to. I found Jakey, and I know what Hagen is planning.
Spit it out, then.
Zul plans to raid Samapesh, and he wants to lead the attack himself.
I see. And what about that treacherous little bastard?
I let him go.
What? Are you out of your mind? That little fucker nearly got us all killed.
Oh, what can I say? I believe in giving people a second chance.
So do I. And I gave one to every man in this band. Only that's not Jakey's second chance, or even his third. He's had a dozen chances already, and he still stabbed us in the back. Saddle up now. We'll ride to Samapesh right away.
Before we go, Jakey told me another interesting thing.
Oh? What's that?
He said you were moaning about Sir Radzig, and saying you'd rather leave here.
Come on, Henry. You know how it is, I like to complain.
No, of course. But Jakey told Hagen about it, and Hagen is planning to bribe you.
Is that so?
I assume, if it comes to it, that you'll remember your oath to Sir Radzig.
What'd you take me for? I might have lost all my property, but I'm still a knight.
What I take you for is a subject I won't get into. But in case your knightly honor isn't enough, let me remind you that Sir Radzig knows all about it. And if anything untoward happens...
All right, Henry, I'm no fool. Don't betray Radzig. Got it. I'm not such a bastard as you seem to think. At least I hope I'm not.
All right, let's go. Kuno, you can't do it.
You're making a common mistake, Henry. There's a difference between what a man can't do and what he ought not to do. In this case, the difference is the size of Hagen's offer.
We talked about this, and I warned you what would happen.
I know, and I don't intend to betray Radzig.
Well, then what's all this talk about what you can't do or oughtn't do?
Because you need to learn a lesson. Evidently, you don't understand the society Radzig brought you into.
Oh, please, enlighten me.
Trust is a rare commodity amongst us, so trust is the very last thing you want to rely on. It's always better to ensure the other fellow has no choice than to trust in his goodwill. Like you did with me by warning Radzig.
In other words, every man goes where the wind blows.
That is, every man who's still alive. And now, if you don't mind, I'd like to end this lesson and go and deal with Lord Zul. I sincerely hope that's not the last piece of wisdom I'll pass on in my life.
All right. Good. But before that, Hagen tried to bribe Kuno.
Tell me, how did you persuade Kuno to stay on our side?
You're assuming Kuno would have gone for Hagen's offer?
I'm quite certain he gave it some thought. Considering I don't pay him a single groschen, probably quite a lot of thought.
You're quite right.
So, how did you persuade him?
I knew about Hagen's intention in advance, so I warned Kuno very emphatically.
You did the right thing, Henry. I see I didn't overestimate you when I gave you this task. Very often, having the right intelligence is more important than superior numbers on the battlefield.